This is the drive home with TT for the Millwall drive home. Driving home from the University of Bolton Stadium, where it finished. Bolton Wanderers 2, Millwall 1. This is going to be a very, very difficult drive home because I get emotional about football. It's something that I live and breathe and die for it. I'm glad I do, because the players on the pitch today, that was a disgrace. That was very, very hard to watch. It wasn't even an advert for League One football. I'm always positive. Well, I'm normally always positive. I try to see all of the good things that we do, and obviously with Neil and the team and the fans today, it's so difficult to commentate on, because I've seen this a couple of times with Millwall in 1990 and the time where we were top of the Championship, although it was League One at the time. The Division 2 at the time, where Mick McCarthy was our manager, and we lost every game and went down bottom of the league. Well, I don't think, other than Ipswich, there's a worse team or a worse performing team in the division than us at the moment. And we made an average, pretty awful Bolton team look better than us. Bolton deserved to win. They played the decent football, and I say decent as loosely as I ever could say it, but they played better than us. They passed the ball around from us, and two moments of quality, really two good finishes by them, has deservedly given them all 3 points. I will try and go through the starting lineup. We started with Archer in goal, who is difficult. Both goals were at the other end. It's hard to see, but both of them are drilled into the bottom corner across his body from a distance. They weren't close in. They were from a distance, and both of them have gone into the bottom corner, and he's done nothing about it. He hasn't had to do really much else in the game. It was one of those games where a couple of chances were going to win it, and considering the fact that we don't know how to take our chances, it was always liable to be them that did it. Well, they took the two chances. Archie didn't have to do much. I'm going to give him a 5. Romeo, right back, did virtually nothing in the game, had no confidence on the ball, had no ability to wrap their players up either. It was a bad performance by Marlon. Give him a 5. Pierce come in for Hutch, and Sammy Obi, he's got this ability, hasn't he, that he can dictate games, he can hold the ball up, he has got a bit of skill about him. He's one of these players that goes from the sublime to the ridiculous. We've got a striker up front that's very similar in terms of build and makeup, but there's no sublime, it's just the ridiculous. But Pierce is at the back. He's got bullied a little bit by Amiobi. His distribution was poor today, actually, I thought. So I'll give him a 4. Cooper didn't really I didn't think it was a good game from Cooper either. His distribution from the back was poor. I'm going to say that word, poor, a few times, I'm sure, through this lineup. I can give him no more than a 4. James Meredith caught out of position again for their goal, and then was subbed literally straight after it. Meredith again did nothing for going forwards, had no composure on the ball, also a 4. Then we move into midfield. Williams in the centre. I'll start with the centre midfield. Williams and Thompson. There couldn't be two more different players in our team at the moment. Williams looks shot as a player at the moment. I don't know whether he's carrying an injury, whether he's got stuff going on in his own life, because he just does not look like the Williams that we're used to. He looks so he looks lethargic anyway, but he looks uber lethargic. He looks so boring to watch. He's put a tackle in and got booked in the first half, which was late. It shouldn't really have been a booking. Their players have reacted and got the booking. But I can give him no more than a 3. And next to him, again, our shining light in terms of desire, our shining light in terms of wanting to run on the ball, but there was absolutely no end product really today from Ben Thompson, and that disappoints me to say, because he's one of the only players in that team today that showed any amount of quality. And for that reason, I'll give Ben Thompson a 6, and I think 6 will be the highest I can give any one of our players. And Ben Thompson was probably my man of the match, and like, again, I say that very, very, very loosely. This is the one thing that really annoyed me during the game, and I have absolutely no idea. I very rarely question Harris, because he knows what he's doing. He's the manager, and I'm just a Muppet fan that travels over the country that coaches an underrated football team, which I've got to say sorry for, because I didn't coach them today because I drove up to Bolton and let my assistant took over, and I feel rubbish because I've not done that. I've not been there for my boys to go and watch that. Anyway, I've got to get this off my chest. Ferguson playing right wing, Jed Wallace playing left wing. I just can't. I don't know why. I don't know why you do that. There must be something that they've seen in training, or something that they've seen from Bolton, but it didn't work. It didn't work in the first half. It didn't work for the first 10 minutes in the second half. I have absolutely no idea why both of them were playing either wing. Fergie had the better of the two. Fergie had something going for him, and I can give Fergie again a 6, one of our better performers, although he tried to put a few decent balls in the box, and he was just completely, in that second half, left alone. Both our wingers were left alone. There was no one to play a 1-2 off, so they're easy to defend, because you know that they have to get the ball into the box. So if you're defending that, you just defend the cross, because you know that's going to happen. So give Fergie a 6, and Wallace had an absolutely awful game. There is nothing good I can say about Wallace's game today. I love Jed Wallace as a person. I think he's a cracking footballer and someone that really cares. And I know that today he'll be sitting in the dressing room on the coach home, and he'll be gutted because he just was not at the races today. Every single thing he done didn't work, other than maybe the play for our goal, which we didn't really look like scoring in a month of Sundays. Up front, did I give Wallace a thing? I'll give Wallace a 3 no, maybe 4, because it's Wallace. I don't want to give him a 3, so I'll give him a 4. Up front, we have got Lee Gregory and Tom Elliott. Lee Gregory done alright. To be fair, most of the stuff he done was awful. He didn't play very well today. It was a game where he looked completely out of it, and you could tell that by his celebration to the fans, that put his fingers to his lips, which, Lee, I've got a lot of respect for you, and you're going home, obviously. You're not going to sign a contract at the Den, and you're going to probably go up north, but you don't need to do things like that. We're watching a team that looks awful. What do you expect to be getting back in return? His goal, on the other hand, was very well taken and was our only bit of quality throughout the match. In fact, it was a good move to Morrow, who came on as a sub, cut it back in, and Gregory beat his marker at the near post and backheeled it, Cruyffed it into the goal. And even then, it's probably the least I've ever celebrated a goal at Millwall, because I never felt we was going to get an equaliser, even though we did have chances afterwards. And up front with Lee Gregory, who I will give a 5 to, was Tom Elliott. And Tom Elliott, now kids, put your hands to your ears, is absolute dog shit, and should not ever be wearing a Millwall top. Now, I don't do scapegoats, because I've ripped a lot of our team for today's performance, but Tom Elliott is rubbish beyond belief. He's not a League One player, never mind a Championship player, and he drives me mental because he seems to have no ability whatsoever. Now, I get no joy from digging out a Millwall player, because they're playing on the pitch, they're the ones that are getting paid, unlike the Bolton players, I may add, who didn't get paid but still fought for their shirt and played some decent football. Tom Elliott flicks it onto nobody. He's in the box. He fell over about 6 or 7 times, where you just think, show a bit of strength, hold them off, and then fight for the ball. Instead, he's thrown himself to the ground. We don't get anything from the ref, although we should have got one decision from the ref, and I'll go on to that in a minute. But he's just absolutely useless. Tom Elliott gets a 2. Now I'll move on to ref watch as I said it, and Simon Hooper was the ref. Useless ref, absolutely useless. Give us very, very, very little, as you would expect. Like I said, Williams got booked when he shouldn't have done. Elliott should have got a penalty. He was dragged down for once from behind. He was pulled down, and that could have made a difference, even though there's, like I said, there's so little I can take out of that. We've got 10 games left for the rest of the season. 10. And at the moment, this is the first time, like I said, I'm driving across the Pennines on the M62, and I'm severely concerned that we are going down. And we looked like a team that are going to be relegated. We've got poor teams in and around us, but poor teams that seem to be able to pick up points. You know, Bolton singing to us, how crap must you be? We're winning at home, and you think that just, and you just think, yeah, we are. We are that bad. I don't know what, you know, there was a lot of talk in the stands, on the concourses, in the toilets, about Harris has got to go. And I don't know whether a fresh view on it, a fresh opinion, a fresh lineup, fresh tactics might help. I still want Harris as our manager because I've got a lot of respect and a lot of time for him, and I feel like if he decides to go, it's up to him. And if we went down, I'd still want Neil Harris. I do still want Neil Harris, so you can give me all the criticism, but I've got a lot of time for Neil. I've got about 3 hours, 45 minutes left of this journey. We've got a tough away game, you know, we've got Birmingham away, and then the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. It's going to be one of those times where you're just going to have to try and get yourself up for a cup game, because if we play anything like we did today, we are going to get absolutely destroyed at home. I know this team lifts it when it's the big games. We've still got Leeds away, we've still got big teams to play, and hopefully we do enough in those big games to get enough points to keep us up. But like I said, this is the first time I'm driving home thinking this could be the year we get relegated, and it'll be absolutely awful driving to the places we have to drive to, the little stadiums. But we'll be there. 10 games to go. Bolton deservedly got their 3 points today. We were awful. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments. Like the video, even though you can't like the game. I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done. Come on, you guys.